beautiful, if somewhat questionable, private project which will soon be built on this very site. Woo! Now, I have to say that some of you may have heard of the O'Neill report, which was recently released about the education system. And one of the things that was said in that report was that to lower tuition fees is actually a subsidy from the rich to the poor. Now that's a questionable assumption, but I was very concerned when I heard that. Not because I'm worried about education, but because I'm worried that the government is losing interest in subsidizing the rich.
Shame.
You know, it's hard being a wealthy business person. Plutocracy is a tough road to hoe. You have to, like, many of the politicians who we meet with are actually very good at golf, for one thing. It's difficult to find the right $1,000 scotch with which to equip your lobbyists. And the general public doesn't really appreciate how difficult driving a sports car can be.
Here, here.
And so I was worried it was going to get even more difficult. With governments all over the world talking about austerity measures, with the credit crash, depleting government coffers, I was scared that they were going to stop helping us out with stuff like this. But fortunately, it didn't turn out that way. Now it wasn't easy. We put out with some offensive comments. Our feelings were hurt pretty bad. There were people who said that this convention center doesn't have any good business case behind it. Or, you know, silly things like that we should have to pay for it ourselves even.
Yeah, communists.
Ridiculous. But luckily, the taxpayers came to our rescue. They saw through all that silly, transparent rhetoric. And not only did both the Halifax municipal government and the provincial government each pony up $56 million to help us with this project, but they actually have sacrificed their education system, which is taking a 3% tuition hike and a funding cut, and their healthcare system, which is going to be cut by 5% to help us with this project, to say nothing of the increasing provincial deficit. So I'd like to be here. I'm proud to be here in gratitude towards the students of Nova Scotia, the patients of Nova Scotia hospitals, the politicians in our legislature, and the Nova Scotia taxpayers. Let's give them all a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have a gentleman here. From Rank Inc. who would like to express his...
Just a short word. My name is Joel Romeo, the head of Rank Inc., the person that's in charge of enriching the value of the downtown area.
You're too modest.
And I also wanted to say, no, thank you very much. I also wanted to say thank you to the Nova Scotia government for making the right decision for the people. And I encourage the federal government to act in kind and also work on the behalf of the people of Nova Scotia, make the right sacrifices for the long-term greater good, they call it. On this beautiful day, I might add, just one sec, actually. And I just want to say again, they are making the right choice for the people, because with more money in my pocket, I am then able to give more spare change to the people I see begging on these corners. And that's what they call this, right? The trickle-down effect. All right, thank you very much.
A gentleman is scholar.
And we have one other. I'm going to get an associate of mine here to read an important letter of solidarity from a gentleman by the name of Prospero von Bitumen.
The third.
The third. And he is the president of the tar sands.
Sadly, he couldn't be here today, but he sent this letter to express his solidarity with our cause on behalf of this wonderful project. He says, "To my friends and allies in Nova Scotia, I would like to congratulate you on your recently successful bid to have the taxpayers of your province foot the bill for your new convention centre. I understand that this is a significant achievement for the business community of Nova Scotia. with an NDP provincial government that is a large deficit to attend to, and a misguided population that values silly things like social services, I understand that the funding of your project was in considerable doubt for quite some time. Nevertheless, your courageous lobbying has secured the money that you want and struck a blow for the upper class everywhere.
Hear, hear.
Here, here.
These are great times for wealthy aristocrats like us. Across the nation, we've been receiving billions of dollars of taxpayer money to fund even our least profitable business ventures. As you well know, I and many of my oil and gas subsidiaries have been the recipients of over $1 billion a year in federal tax money to support our liberation of profitable oil from Alberta's boreal forest. While the $112 million committed to your convention centre so far is only a drop in the bucket compared with the massive gifts we have received, we nevertheless want to express our sincere congratulations. With the anti-capitalist forces of affordable education, quality health care, and funding for climate research allied against us, things could very well have gone the other way. But we have persevered, and as a result, the people of this great nation have been rightfully stuck with the bill for our projects. Special congratulations for persuading the taxpayers that this is a good idea. Due to the recent actions of some of my good friends in the New York financial sector, our public relations departments have had a harder time than ever advocating for sound fiscal policy, which will be in our private good. Nevertheless, we can be proud to be members of a global movement which has effectively fought the better judgment of the electorate at every turn. From the defunding of British libraries, universities, national forests, and healthcare services, to the battle against union rights being waged in Wisconsin, we have prevailed more often than we have not. Yours is one more victory in what has been a long and successful campaign. But it will not be finished until we receive government funding to profit off every conceivable social service. I regret that I cannot be there to congratulate you in person, as I am currently on my way to a dinner with Federal Environment Minister Peter Kent and Finance Minister Jim Flaherty. Nevertheless, I'll be sure to stop by sometime. When your convention center is open, I'll book it for a few hours. Maybe. I would like to repeat my sincerest congratulations, and I hope that we continue to have many similar victories over the better interests of the Canadian taxpayer far into the future. Yours in solidarity, Prospero von Benjamin III, President, the Tar Sands. Woo!
I'd like to finish up with just a few chants so we can really get our voices heard. The first one goes, whose cash?
Our cash!
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 Checkbooks, not textbooks.
Checkbooks, not textbooks! Checkbooks, not textbooks!
Checkbooks, not textbooks. 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 Checkbooks, not textbooks.
Checkbooks, not textbooks!
What do we want? More blank checks. When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
More blank checks!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
More blank checks!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
More blank checks!
When do we want them?
Now!
No to public health care, yes to corporate welfare.
No to public health care! Yes to corporate welfare! No to public health care! Yes to corporate welfare! No to public health care! Yes to corporate welfare! No to public health care! Yes to corporate welfare! No to public health care! Yes to corporate welfare! No to public health care! Yes to corporate welfare! No to public health care! Yes to corporate welfare! No to public health care! Yes to corporate welfare! No to public health care! Yes to corporate welfare!